What is this? What is this? Hello YouTube, my name is Sarah and welcome back to my channel. With this video I wanted to shed some light on a pretty current topic, which is intersex surgeries. You might have seen or read somewhere that a prominent pediatric hospital in the US recently promised to stop performing intersex surgeries. And this is thanks to the many years of work by activists such as Pigeon and Sean. But what are intersex surgeries? Intersex surgeries are performed and recommended by doctors to parents as treatment to intersex infants and children to better fit them into one of the binary sexes, so either male or female. This has been done according to which phenotype the child is closer to, completely neglecting the child's own wishes and bodily autonomy. Some of these surgeries are medically valid, for example, repairing a hernia in a newborn baby, but some are also very invasive. For example, genital corrective surgeries that can lead to scarring, pain, and loss of sexual sensation later on. Not to mention the psychological effects these surgeries can have. It's unnecessary at best and straight up mutilation at worst. The fight for ending intersex surgeries is far from over, since this was just one hospital in the US that has banned these surgeries, and there is only legislation in 3 countries in Europe against these surgeries. This shows how slow the progress is, even if activists have been fighting for intersex rights for years. In 2019, the Committee on Civil Rights, Justice and Home Affairs submitted a motion for a resolution on intersex rights, where more countries in Europe are urged to adopt the legislation against intersex discrimination and surgeries currently in place in Portugal, Albania and Malta. These laws are not perfect, but they're a first step. But opinion and practices still will need to change. I'm not an activist, I don't work on this 100% of the time, but I wanted to do my part to putting an end to these surgeries, not only in Europe, but all over the world. And the first step in that is raising awareness. So what was my own intersex surgery like? If you haven't seen my intersex story video where I talk about my diagnosis, I highly recommend you to check it out. I will leave a link for it up here. But basically, ever since I got my diagnosis when I was 15, doctors were encouraging me to undergo this surgery, which was called a gonadectomy. And that's basically where they remove my undescended testes that were in my inguinal canal. I decided to wait 6 years until having the surgery, so I underwent it when I was 21. There was some research showing that it was beneficial to keep the gonads for as long as possible because the part of the testosterone that they produced would be turned into estrogen. So therefore you would need a lower dose of synthetic hormones or HRT. I still feel like I kind of was pressured into having this surgery. It wasn't a question about having this surgery or not. It was more of a question when to have the surgery. So I do understand the doctor's point of view in this as well. Doing the surgery on patients with androgen insensitivity syndrome was the general practice at the time, because of the high risk of the gonads developing cancer. For me, for example, I wasn't struggling with the physical aspect of it, like the surgery is just a laparoscopic surgery. You took a couple of days to heal from it, but I was really struggling with the psychological aspect of it afterwards. And I didn't even realize it was because of the surgery, because when I was younger, I was super energetic, I was doing a lot of sports and considered myself to be, happy. But after the surgery, my mental health just crashed. And it's a whole other story, so I'm probably gonna make another video about it. I'll leave a link to it up here. So in conclusion, if I got to choose today, I would choose not to undergo the surgery and do the annual screening instead. But I do realize that I am lucky in the sense that I wasn't scarred in a worse way. A lot of people have it way worse, and it makes me very upset that these surgeries are performed on infants and children that have no idea that it's even being done to them. Like, they can't understand it, and they should have the right to make the choices about their bodies, and therefore these surgeries should be presented to them or even suggested when they are like over 18 so that they can make the choice themselves. That was it. That was my story. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'm pretty sure that I didn't mention everything regarding to my surgery. There are probably unanswered questions, and maybe I'll make a more in-depth video about my surgery in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.